Hey y'all, and welcome to the Ladywing Designs channel. My name is Zakia, and we are finally back, and by we I mean me. Yeah, I'm finally back to update you all on some crafts, and yeah, try to get back in the groove of recording and having a YouTube channel in general. So today is Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. Before I forget, I hope that you're all doing well as we can be. We are still in crazy times. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well, mentally, physically, emotionally, all the things. Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump in because I haven't recorded in a while, and if you've ever taken a long break from doing this type of thing, you know, you come back and it's like you've never done it before. So I don't remember what I used to do for my intro. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. I'll have links down below for where you can find me on the interwebs. I really haven't been even posting on Instagram a lot lately, so not much for you to honestly see out there in the world. Um, yeah, I feel very out of the loop with a floss tube, cross stitch, like all the things. I've pretty much just been watching Twitch, um, and only a couple YouTube channels. So let me know if there's like something I missed in the last, I guess, about a year. Let me know if there's something big that I missed or patterns or I don't know, whatever. Let's catch up. So, with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into some project updates. So, it's a lot. I have a whole pile next to me. Um, I have they're tiny sticky notes, but I have three sticky notes worth of projects because I knew that I would forget some stuff to tell y'all about. So, I looked back at the last WIP update, and I think I recorded it at the end of May and it was uploaded at the beginning of June. Um, so it's been a while, but let's just start. Okay, we're gonna start with FOs. This is why I wrote down the show notes and I'm still not following them. So starting with stuff that y'all saw last time, well, at least these, I know y'all saw last time. There are two socks. It is a completed pair. I've already worn them and I need to wash my socks. I've gone through them all again. So it's about washing time, aka these, they're a little raggedy from being worn, but not raggedy, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the rambling never changes. But these are let me show you the actual pattern. So these are the heel toe do-si-do sock pattern by Kay at the Crazy Sock Lady. So you can see it just makes a really nice chevron pattern there. It's really great. She designed this pattern with self-striping yarn, so as you can see, it definitely works really well for that. But yeah, I'll probably do this pattern again at some point because I really enjoyed it. It's very simple. The yarn is Lollipop yarn in Witch Hunt. Don't make me lie to you. I don't remember the main color, but I know the mini is Vampire. Because each of these colors, each of the color stripes in here, the dyer actually named. I think this one's the Great Pumpkin. That one's Vampire. I don't remember. I think the white is Moonlight. I forget what this one is. Maybe this one's Moonlight. I don't know. But anyway, the heels and toes are in the mini skein that came with it, which is just the black. Yeah, there's lint all over them. Like I said, I've worn them already. But yeah, they're those. I knit these on the 9-inch circulars. That's pretty much all I've been doing for socks lately. So, US 2, no, US 0 needles, which is a 2mm needle, and I use Chow Goose for my 9-inch circulars. So I finished that pair, and then I also did a, and this is not like in order at all. I'm just showing y'all. I forgot one pair of socks. I'm gonna show y'all these, and then I'll have to go grab them. Because that was actually the next pair that I did. Anyway, so these were further down the line, but I wanted to use some Harry Potter yarn. I don't remember what thought process led me there, but I was like, ooh, yeah, let's do some Harry Potter yarn. And I was looking through some scraps that were big enough for me to do a pair of socks with. And turns out I had enough of some skeins that all related to Prisoner of Azkaban. Which, if you're not a huge Harry Potter nerd, it's the third book. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so for my fans out there, so I knit these cuff down, and I did them in the order that the like inspiration pops up in the book slash movie, in the order of appearance. So this is the Sirius colorway, as in Sirius Black, from Nomadic Yarn, and it's on her sparkle base. And then I went into, it's a little brighter than this. It's not that dark of a green. But this is Happiness from Lolo Did It. This was one of the quotable Dumbledore sock skeins that she did last year. So this skein, I used this for the washed out shawl that I did for my mom for Christmas. So if y'all watched the vlogs from last year, that's the green. Yeah, so this one, the quote, so the sock club was called Quotable Dumbledore because each skein and each one had a coordinating mini also, but each skein was inspired and named after a Dumbledore quote. So this one, which I always forget happens in the third movie. It's during the start of term feast. It's very popular. Happiness can be found in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. So that one next, because if you remember in the, this is not a spoiler, Harry Potter's so old now, but you see Sirius, Harry sees him before he gets on the night bus at the beginning. He like sees, you know, the dog or whatever in the bushes. So Sirius came first. And then the happiness quote. And then this is Mischief Managed, also by Nomadic Yarn. And it's for the Marauders map, which is later in the movie. So again, there are two socks. They're exactly the same. So, oh, they're actually not. That's really funny. I guess I didn't feel like doing it on that. Oh, because I changed it. So I lied. They're actually not the exact same, but they're pretty close. On this one, I was like, oh, I feel like I did a little too much green. I should have switched to Mischief Managed sooner. And what you can see that I did here, I remember why they're not the same. Okay, so here when I added the green, I like striped it in. And then I did the same thing when I went to Mischief Managed later. I kind of striped them and then finished it off. So that was the first sock. And then on the second sock, because again, I was kind of like, this is a lot of green. So I wanted less green. So I did that. So there's less green. And then because again, if if you're a fan, or if you've seen them, read them, they go back, Harry and Hermione, with the time turner and change things. So when I got to the second sock, I was like, oh, well, you didn't want to do that much green anyway, so I did less green. And then I also did not do the striping. I don't remember if I forgot or if I was just like, the second like rewind was different, so I just did it differently. But I love them. I love them so much. Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite in the whole series, so yeah, it felt right to have a pair of socks based off of that. So, okay, let me go grab this other pair of socks because I almost forgot. Okay, and then of course the computer was like, no, actually we will not pause this video for you, but it's fine. Okay, so, back during the summer, I knit, and this is also from, this is a skein from the gift box of goodies, if you don't know what I'm talking about. One of my viewers sent me a giant box of craft goodies. Go back to the last episode to hear me talk more about that. But yeah, this also came from that box, this skein of yarn, and it was a skein of stranded Dyeworks. Was that the 2019 colorway, I think? It was the SSK colorway that okay, pause. It was the SSK 2019 colorway that that Jude did for Stranded Dyeworks. Um, and okay, so, oh my gosh. Why is this so hard? My brain just like completely shut down. So, SSK is Super Summer Knit Together. It's a retreat that's usually held every year in Nashville by Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls, which is a YouTube podcast. And I got the chance to go to the marketplace in 2018 and met Jude, which was amazing. And then 2019, I didn't get to go back. I wanted to, but I didn't. And this was the colorway that Jude dyed for SSK that year, and it's called Downtown. I'm pretty sure it's like inspired by Nashville, like at night, you know, with all the lights and stuff downtown. And as soon as I saw this skein in the gift box, I was like, this has to be, I need to do something like specifically to remind me of SSK. So I decided to do the Socks on a Plane pattern by Laura Linneman, who is, as I just said, half of the Knit Girls. I had yet to knit this pattern, but I've always wanted to, and so it seemed like a perfect plan. Um, I did change up these were cuffed down. I did change up like the cables a little bit with how big like the cable repeats were. I'm not gonna go into details because you really can't tell, but it was really fun. Kind of added something different to it. Yeah, so that's that pair of socks. And oh, one more pair of finished socks. These, oh, okay, this one's flipped inside out because I still have ends to weave in, but they look the exact same. These are a pair of socks for a good friend of mine. I I'm pretty sure I knit these over the summer. As you can see, they're still here. Yeah, actually, I think I knit these like in August, I think. End of July or August. But yeah, so these are the socks for her. And I was actually, so I'll come back to that. So the yarn, I say that, but like I don't even remember what the yarn is. That's real bad. This yarn was also in the gift box of goodies though. She came to visit me. She was cleaning out her apartment here because she graduated last year. And so she was cleaning out her apartment, and she came by and, you know, we chatted, caught up, and she saw this skein sitting right, her favorite color is purple, and she saw this skein sitting right on top of the gift box of goodies, because I was actually thinking about using it for something for my mom, because her favorite color is also purple. Um, but yeah, my friend saw it, and I was like, heck yeah, if that's the if that's the yarn you want, I will totally make you some socks out of that. So they're all done, like I said. This one I just need to weave in a couple of these ends here. Um, yeah, and then the other thing that I am thinking about is going back to like before I started the toes, and turning the, like shifting where the halfway points are between the top and the bottom of the foot, because if you ever knit in a tube, or even if you've ever crocheted in the round, because it's the same thing, the fabric that you make, yeah, yeah, I might have to do that. The fabric that you make is not like a straight up and down tube. You're knitting in a spiral. So, think y'all, I mean, you definitely can because of the way the toe is sitting, but like just looking at the knit stitches themselves, you can see like they definitely, you know, it spirals and they kind of shift over. I don't have too much of a problem with my socks down at the end. Like it lays pretty flat because my feet are, I have small feet. So I don't have to knit too far past the gusset increases. Like it's not enough room for the knitting to start spiraling like this. But because her foot is longer, it gave it that extra room to kind of start really spiraling. Um, so yeah, like as you can see, like it looks really weird there because like the halfway points between front and back aren't actually in the middle. So now that I'm looking at these again, I still, because I think it did the same thing on this sock too. So I'll probably go back in and fix that because that's going to be very uncomfortable for trying to like wear the socks. I don't know though. I've never, like I said, I've never had this happen for me, and I don't remember it happening when I've knit my boyfriend's socks either. So if y'all have any experience with that, or have suggestions, let me know. Or know somebody that's dealt with it, if they've shown it like on one of their episodes or something, let me know. Because I don't actually know if I need to go in and fix it. Not sure. But I do need to send the socks out to her at some point, so that will happen. Okay, more FOs. Well, okay, let's do this first. I'm gonna show some stuff. Oh, I can show this. Let's take a little spinning break for a second, kind of break it up from the socks, and I'll show you some stuff that is finished. So, this skein is 100% merino from Hip Strings. So this is finished hand spun. I'll kind of hold it up so you can kind of look at the plies and such. It's all a solid color. I showed y'all this one last time. It was still on the bobbin. I had just finished plying it. Yeah, it's been washed and reskeined. I just need to measure how much I actually have after washing. I have not done that yet. So that skein is done. And then the other thing that I was still in the middle of, I don't think I'd finished spinning. I didn't completely watch the last episode. I mean, it was over 2 hours. So I just went to like see which projects I had shown. And naturally, there's fluff flying everywhere now. So I'm going to be rubbing at my nose. I guess I'll take this out of this skein. I love this so much, y'all. So, this is the purple and gray that I was working on, that I was kind of doing as a gradient, and y'all, it came out fabulously. Like, it's so good. It's so good that it's still like this and I haven't used it yet. Because I think I got about 200 yards. But before I show you that one, this is the leftovers. So when I plied, hold on, I think I have a picture because it was really funny to me. I found it amusing. I'm easily amused, so whatever. Okay, now I have to also remember what month I finished this in. So when I was plying it, I really wanted all of the gradient to be in one complete skein because I knew I was going to have to break it up and go to a second skein. You know, a second bobbin for plying, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted the first like gradient bit to all be on the same bobbin so that that yarn wasn't split up at all. So here's the picture of the finished yarn on the bobbins. So as you can see, I did indeed manage to fit all of the gradient bit on that one bobbin, but it was very much overflowing the sides. Nothing wonky happened. It didn't like pop off there or anything, thank goodness. But yeah, it was a very full bobbin. And then this is the leftovers because, as I predicted, I had more of this BFL Merino cross than the other half of the gradient. So I just finished plying it up on itself, which I was actually really happy that I was able to do that, because I was curious as to how it was going to look plied on itself. And yeah, I really like it. It's a little crunchy, but I'm not sure. I'm feeling like that's more because of the fiber itself than the plying, because the plying looks fairly like balanced. So I don't think it's crunchy because it's like over plied. But yeah, I also don't know how much this is. So I measured this at the end, and it's like 190 something yards. I haven't yet measured this for how much it is, how many yards. So there's that. Yeah, and okay, let me show you all this now. So one ply, this is a 2-ply yarn. One ply of this was some purple hip strings, some gray hip strings, and then what was the dark gray? It was merino from Wild Time Art. And all of these were merino. The light gray, so the purple and the dark gray are 100% merino from different dyers. And then the light gray was Tussa Silk, merino, and something else. Now I can't remember. But that one was a blend. And the dark gray, it doesn't really matter. I don't remember how much I had of each one. That part's not important. So let me show you this fabulousness. Let me see if I can. Okay. So, and the BFL Merino Cross is held with all of it. That's the second ply. So one ply is the purple to gray gradient, and then the other one is just the purple and brown, that the 2 ounces. So yeah, there's like the purple and then the light gray, and then it just fades into the dark gray, and I love it. I love it so much. This is also the biggest spin that I've ever had. Well, I'm working on a bigger spin now, but biggest completed spin so far. Yeah, it felt really nice to get this done, and I don't know. I don't think I held it up close enough for y'all to really tell, but like, can we just talk about this plying? Like, look at that. Now, okay, not that I need disclaimers, but disclaimer, this, the dark purple here, which is the start of that gradient ply, it was spun, like, back when I first started spinning, it was spun, yeah, I mean, pretty much right after I got the electric eel, the first one, so it's been a minute, so that's why it's looking kind of puffy and not as great as the rest of it. But I still love it so much. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I keep saying that I'm going to I keep saying that I'm going to use it for the other cat, for my best friend's child, as a stuffy for her, but as you can see, I still haven't done anything with it because it's just so nice and I kind of want to keep it for me. I also thought about doing something for my mom with it because it's purple. But again, it's just so nice. I kind of want to keep it for me. That was a horrible job of twisting that back up. I'll fix it later. So that's that. I love this so much, y'all. And then other things that y'all have seen before. Wow, there's really fiber flying everywhere now. So, sorry for the earthquake. The other thing that y'all have seen before, but was not finished, is this hat, and it's still not super finished because I have some ends to weave in still. This is I think it's Jason's Cashmere hat. I don't remember the designer right now. But yeah, it's a cabled pattern. I knit it out of leftover Lion brand jeans yarn in the brand new colorway. If you remember, I knit a weekender out of this yarn. Oh, that's not attractive. And then I had about a, I think it was like a whole skein basically, that I had left over. So I decided to knit a cabled hat with it. I wanted to knit something quick, and I wanted something with cables at that point. So I just found this hat, and yeah, now I need to keep this hat in my car and take it with me constantly because it's cold here in Alabama. So it's not like freezing cold. It's much colder in Tennessee where I'm from, but I've been down here long enough that once it like gets chilly down, which is basically just chilly, it's not cold, but it's freezing. So, and we have been getting pretty low temperatures too already, so this is definitely going to get some good use. I guess I could try it on for you too. So it does have, I don't remember if this is the brim they say to have or if I did a longer one. I do know that I added at least one repeat to the cables up here. And then, like I said, ends to weave in, but I like it. And because of that longer brim, I can definitely, you know, kind of roll it down and have it be a little slouchy. So, there's that hat. I really enjoyed it. It was a very quick knit. When I picked it back up, I actually only picked it back up a week or two ago, and it was only because I needed the needle. I needed the cord or whatever was on it still. So I went ahead and finished it. I only had 3 rounds to go. So that's done. Pause so that I can blow my nose. Okay. Crisis averted for a little while. So, what else do I need to talk about? Okay, I definitely have a picture because it's on Ravelry already. So, there are a couple things that I finished that I don't, okay, one of them I can't find, which is the one I'm going to show you. And the other one I don't have anymore, so I'll have to show you some pictures. So, this is, let me just, can I zoom in? I'm trying to get a lot of Ravelry like out of the background. So I finished some socks that I thought I was going to be using for the Vanilla for Life sock pattern that I've been working on for like 3 years now. But side note about the pattern, I finally came to a decision on what I'm going to do with it. So I just need to rearrange my thoughts, knit some new samples, and get everything written out right in the pattern. It's definitely going to happen now. Yeah. So that's good. We finally hit a breakthrough mentally on the pattern. But these I knit back during the summer. I was trying out a different kind of heel thing that I wanted to do. It's not going to happen. Also, on that note, I'm pretty sure that these are too short. So they don't even really like fit correctly. I do have more of this yarn left over, which it is Lion brand Sockies prints in the Toffee colorway. So I don't know where those socks are right now. I need to find them. They're probably looking right at me and I just didn't see them. But I might actually go ahead and rip them out. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the heel thing that I was trying to do. And also, like I said, they're a little too short. So I'm thinking I'll probably just rip them out and reknit them. Or I could just grab the rest of the yarn that I have and maybe start a new pair. That might be what happens. But that's that project. And then, oh, nope, finished objects. Okay, this other one, I do not have a picture on Ravelry, but I do have a picture. My mom had, here we go. My mom had, some, like, kits, that she got from some big box store, not sure. So I'll go ahead and show you this, which I did actually put it on, oh, shoot. I did, dude, I have to go back and find it again. Hold on. I did actually have a picture that I put on Instagram. I was trying to find the picture of like what the front of it looks like, but apparently I didn't actually take that picture. But anyway, she got it's some of those kits that have the like wooden piece that you stitch on. She had 3, I think, that she bought. She had 2 of these. She wanted to do one for her and one for a friend of hers and my dad's. So, yeah, and we were talking about it one time I was at home, and she was like, yeah, I really wanted to do this, but I just haven't been back to stitching or anything. So she gave this one to me. It was the first one that I did, and I finished it. I guess I could turn it up a little bit more. So yeah, I did finish that one. I did as the pattern suggested, which is 3 strands of DMC. Yeah, so that was honestly a really fun quick stitch, because at the time I was really wanting to cross stitch, but I didn't want to work on any WIPs. I didn't want to start anything, so this was really perfect. And there's actually a second one of these that she has given me, that which I think that one's going to be the second one's going to be for her friend, because she has already put this one on the little easel that they give you in the kit, and she's put it up in her craft room. So I think the second one that I'm doing now is going to be for her friend, but I haven't gone back to it. My mom, sorry for the sniffles, my mom uses DMC pearl cotton, the size 5 floss. So I need to go back and rip out, I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the one that she gave me yet, because she already started. That was the one that she had already started on. And it does not look very comparable if I just switch to the DMC that, you know, we kind of use on Ada and everything, not pearl cotton. Is it? I don't remember. The 6-strand cotton. It doesn't look comparable if I use that, so I need to decide whether I'm ripping out her stitches and starting over, or if I'm gonna try to use the pearl cotton, because I did bring her floss ring back with me. But yeah, that's that, and there's the back, just because I actually have a picture of it, so there you go. It was pretty neat. I did work like by color. Okay, so that's those 2, and then I think that leaves us to this other stuff sitting up here. So, okay, like I said in the beginning, I actually do need to talk about that before I get to this, because it leads into it. So like I said at the beginning, I have mostly just been watching Twitch. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube anymore. I'm just catching up on like some of my absolute favorite people on YouTube, and that's about it. I just, once I got into Twitch, and like really got into Twitch and started finding so many people in makers and crafting, it's just amazing. And recently, because of a like new community game that's come out, I've like added even more people, and it's just, I love it. I love it so much. It's also really fun to see that some of FlossTube is actually coming over to Twitch. That was kind of fun to see. So I know Michelle Bindi is over there now, and Rachel Ray is over there. So far that's all I've noticed, but I think it's great. I love Twitch, honestly. I really thought about just not doing these YouTube videos anymore, but I think it's good to still have pre-recorded, and I'm saying it now, at some point I'm going to start streaming. Which I told y'all way back when that it would probably happen at some point. Let's just say my brother gave me his old mic and a stand, or not a stand. Anyway, he gave me his old mic, and yeah, that's gonna be happening soon. Don't know when, but it will be happening. So anyway, all of that to say, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out 2 of my absolute favorite people on Twitch, like absolute favorite people. Um, First is Atomic Stacy, which I'll talk about her later actually, because I have a WIP that coincides with Stacy. So just remember Atomic Stacy. But also one of my absolute favorites is Girl November, and she is a knitter, uh, and she has an Etsy shop where she sells washcloths. She makes stuff for a charity, for Warm Up America, if you've ever heard of them. And if not, I'll try to remember to link them in the show notes. I don't know who's editing, if I'm going to, or if I'm going to ask my brother if he wants to start his editing with this one, because he had offered, sorry y'all, he had offered to edit my videos. So, I'm going to ask him if he wants to do this one or what. I don't even know if there's really going to be editing. This might just go up and I'll just put up show notes. But regardless, Warm Up America, they take hats, scarves, all types of donations. But one of the big things that they do is Afghan squares, which this is not for. One of the big things they do is Afghan squares, to send to them, and then they put them all together for blankets, or you can just send them a completed blanket. But yeah, so anyway, Girl November, she does charity for Warm Up America. She does knitting for orders that she has on Etsy. She does all of that on her channel. And she knits English style, which means she holds her yarn in her right hand. That's my right hand. Anyway, she holds the yarn in her right hand. And a lot of people will flick. So flicking is where you don't have to let go of the needle to pick up the yarn. She actually throws, and she's been knitting for years now, but she throws, which is where you pick your entire hand up off the needle and throw the yarn, and then, anyway, look up videos. And something about watching, I've always been that way about crafting. I love to literally just sit and watch people's hands with what they're actually doing. It's very soothing for me. I think if you're also a crafter out there, which you probably are watching this, I think that's relatable for a lot of us. But yeah, so I was, spending all this time watching her knit English and the throwing, and just, it looked so soothing. And then one day I was like, why don't you just, why don't you just teach yourself English finally? Because I was just loving watching her do it. So I don't know, I don't remember what order I knit these in now. Oh, maybe it was just flipped. Anyway, I had some yarn from a sweater that I had originally started last year for my best friend's child. I almost said her name. Trying not to do that on the interwebs, but mostly because it's not my child. I'm pretty sure her name's already. Anyway, not the point. Not the point. So, um, that sweater is. I'm looking at the sweater because I finished the body and just had to put sleeves on it, and I never got back to that. So instead, I took the rest of the yarn that I had, and I was like, hey, this will be fine. I'm gonna like knit some little washcloths, or just some squares, and yeah, because it is cotton yarn also. So I probably will end up using these for washcloths or something, because I've discovered my English knitting tension is a lot better than my continental tension. I don't know why that is, but it is. Um, so I know these are just squares, and you're like, how do we know you knit this English? You're just gonna have to believe me. One of these times I'll do a craft with me where I'm actually knitting English, because I do enjoy it. I actually haven't done it in a little bit now. The stuff that I'm working on, I have gone back to Continental, but I did. I think this is the first one. I feel like it is. I think it is. But I did one all knitting. So I just like cast on. I used some DPNs. It was like size 6 DPNs. Some wooden ones that I, just had lying around that would work well with the yarn. So I I just cast on stitches to fill up the DPN, and then I did one whole swatch where I was just knitting. And then I did another whole swatch where I was just purling. Like I said, I don't even know if these are the right ones, but I did one all knits, one all purls, so that I could force myself to like really get the hang of each one. And then I did, I'm pretty sure this was next. Next I did some where, as you can see, I did some garter, and then I did the stockinette. So I was, switching between the knits and the purls. Still practicing, but getting used to them. And I mean, y'all, look at this. Like, look at that stockinette. Like, it's just, I wish that y'all could, like, feel these. Granted, it is also cotton, which doesn't have as much stretch as wool, but still, it made me so happy. So that was that one. As you can see, none of the ends are woven in. Yeah, these were not in the right order, but whatever. I also did I think this one was next. I know it doesn't matter, but it does. So then I also did one that was seed stitch and stockinette. Oh my gosh, can I just say I love seed stitch. Like, I love seed stitch anyway, I always have, but I love seed stitch in English knitting. It was so nice. It was so nice. So there was that one. And then I did a full one of just seed stitch. Again, loved it. And then I also did two corner to corner ones. I don't remember which is which. I think this is the first one. And yeah, it doesn't matter, people. It matters to me because I did actually have them stacked up in the right order at one point, but they've been moved so many times. So this was one that I did. One of these diamonds I followed the super simple dishcloth or whatever it's called that Louise of Wildflower Wool did her pattern. So one of these I did with that pattern. I think it was this one, and then the other one I just kind of winged it from what I remembered from doing these style squares. So I think this one is the one that I did Louise's pattern with because it just looks a lot neater. But yeah, and I actually really, really liked this. The way it's striped and turned out. I did not plan that out. It just happened that way. So yeah, that was all the washcloths. And after I did those, I was like, hey, this is great. This is a really good way for me to, enjoy some English knitting, but also maybe knit through some of my stash. If you are like me or know me, I did these two and that was it. I did actually start a third one, but I messed up what I was trying to do, so I haven't gone back to it because my mojo is ever changing. But then I was like, hey, let's try to do some squares for Warm Up America, because that, I love a good cause. I rarely stick to them anymore, but I love a good cause. So I found that I went looking for just different stitch patterns to make it interesting. And I found this one. I love it. I kind of forgot to do some of the slips or pearls or whatever there, so. But yeah, Warm Up America, they do 7 by 9 inch squares, so that's why they look a little weirdly shaped. But there's that one. And this is the one that I actually did first. I did a seed stitch one first. Loved it so much. And then I also took the time to knit a hat. And again, this was all English knitting. And on this one, I forgot about that. On this one, I did a knit one through the back loop, purl one, rib. So I have twisted rib. And I love it. So, yeah, it came out well. Still have more of that yarn left, so definitely will be trying to get some more squares out of it. I just, like I said, haven't gotten back to it yet. There's always tons of things keeping our attention. So that's that. I think that's all for, oh, no, it's not. I have one more finished object. Let's see, I showed you all of that. I have one more, and it's another pair of socks. They're on my feet. Oh, that's not FOs though. Okay. So, sorry that I don't know. Before I was recording, I was like, it seems a little weird to just take these off of my feet and show them, but I'm wearing them. And they will be going back on my feet, so. So back in 2017, it was my first internship where I was in Nashville. That was back when I was an accounting major. And I went to my first ever local yarn shop, which was Bliss Yarns. Still the only one I've been to. And they had a Lang Jawoll yarn, and I got 5 skeins. I got this, I don't think any of them had colorway names. I think they're all just numbers. But I got this one, which was for me. And I do have a pair of socks just out of this. And then I got this, this like creamy one, creamy beige-ish one, which was for my mom. And she does have a full pair of socks out of just this. And then I got another skein that ended up going to my boyfriend. And then there were another 2 skeins that matched, and those 2 actually ended up being hats for my dad and brother. So I have now used all of that yarn, but I had leftovers. Actually, I think I have leftovers of all of them. But I had sizable leftovers of these 2. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen a picture of me and my mom. I don't know what I've like showed on here. I can't remember. But if you've ever seen a picture of me and my mom, I look just like her. And we are very like, we think the same a lot. Like we joke a lot. We're Bobbsey twins. We're the same person. Like, so I thought it would be neat to do a pair of socks that was kind of, you know, dedicated to us. So I did a pair of Fraternal Socks. And this is actually my latest finished object. I just finished them this week. And yeah, so they're fraternal. So the cuff, I started in the contrast color. So anyway, what I love about these, let me just start there. What I love about these is that without knowing which yarn is which, they just look like it worked out that way. And it's wonderful. Like, every time that I would go to switch between one or the other, it was like, oh, you really can't tell that I just changed to a new yarn, like, based on that one row, because they just matched up perfectly. And I did not do that on purpose. You know, I just pulled the yarn wherever it was, but I love it. So, no, this was the first one that I did, not that it matters. But I started with my skein for the cuff, and I did a few rows after the cuff. And then I switched and knit the rest of my leg, and then I joined my color back in and did the heel flap and heel turn. And then when I got back to when I started the gusset, I switched back to mom's color, and then the toe is in my color. And this one is the exact same, but flipped. So I started the cuff in the first few rounds with hers, did the leg in mine, and then this one's very easy to tell that the heel is the other one because of that beige that comes in, or the tan color. And then went back to the foot with my color, and the toe is in her color. And I love them. And they're super comfortable. I definitely love this sock yarn and need to get some more of it. Yeah, so that's my latest sock project. It was really fun. And as I said, these are now going to go back on my feet because my feet are cold without them. Okay. So one more thing that has kind of been in limbo. I usually record on the other side of the couch, and I wanted to switch it up and record on this side of the couch. So I was moving everything over, and this was sitting over here. Hold on, I have to sneeze. All right. We're gonna hope that it can just keep it together for the rest of this. Okay, so these, when I moved everything, I honestly forgot that they were, because this half of the couch was just like covered in craft stuff. So once I, got them from under everything, I discovered this sock tube that I had knit in 2019. No, I'm not joking. And I remember because I finished it at a baby shower for a cousin who is now 2. Um, yeah, she's 2. But anyway, I remember finishing them then, and I wanted to use literally every last scrap. So I never cut this off. That's why they're not finished, because I was like, I'm gonna go back, rip out the ribbing, and knit a little bit more in stockinette, and then redo it so that I, used every last bit of it. But in those 2 years, as much as I love doing sock tubes, afterthought heels do not fit my feet very well. And I don't know, maybe I could play around with that. I don't know, but I think it's because I have a higher instep, um, which is why pretty much I just do heel flap and gusset on everything now. And even on the heel flap and gusset, I do um, a couple extra, I'm not going to go into the math of that. I do a couple extra repeats on the heel flap to make it taller. And it's perfect. Like, I have now hit the perfect number of repeats for my instep. So I think I'm gonna frog this. Not I think, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna frog this. Actually, I have some yarn to wind up after I record, so I'll probably do it then. But since it is all attached, I'm just gonna put this on the ball winder and frog it all, and knit socks like regular cuff down, like I have been doing, because then I can do my, the gusset, and it'll just be better. I will definitely wear the socks more if they actually fit my feet correctly. So, yeah, so that's what's gonna happen with these. While I am thinking about it, because this is a goal I'm trying to reach this year. So in 2018, I don't remember how many socks I knit. I think it was like 20, maybe 21, but I feel like it was either 19 or 20 pairs of socks that I did in 2018. And since then, I've been like, dude, I could totally do a double box of socks. So if you haven't ever heard of that, I don't know if people still do it, or if, okay, I don't know if the original host still does it. I'm sure people out there set goals all the time for 12 socks in 1 year. And that's all it was. Vine, Kristen, Vine Yarns, she, back in the day, it's been so long, it feels like it's been so long, but she used to, host every year the Box of Socks knit along, and the idea was that you would knit one pair, one pair of socks each month, and you would put them away in a little box, and you would save them for the holidays or for the next year or whatever. And at the end of the year for the cow, you had to show all of your socks over in a box, like you had to. Yeah, so box of socks. And it was 12 in 1 year. So in 2018, I was like, oh, you got to 20. Like, you could totally just do a double box of socks and have 24 pairs. And this year, I wasn't planning to go for that, but with working at the thrift store and like using so much of that knitting time, I really got a lot of socks done this year. So I'm gonna be ripping this out to do some shorties because I'm real close, y'all. Um, this pair, the Lang pair, is 19 for the year. I still have my grandmother's socks on the needles, so they don't count as a finish yet. Still on the first sock, so whatever. And then the pair that I have on the needles, yeah. So this, because plus my goal right now is to just kind of focus on shorties, because I still want some more shorties in my stash anyway, in my stash of socks. So this will be another pair of shorties. This is, where's the thing? This is Nitpicks Felici in the Stormy Sky colorway. It's only one skein. I'm seriously just so glad I have small feet. I only need one skein. I'll probably be putting a contrast color with that just in case though. And yeah, so now let's get into the WIPs, shall we? So works in progress. I'll just grab from over there because it doesn't really matter. So this is the latest shawl that, oh wait, lies. I'm gonna show you one other thing first because I think this is gonna get frogged. So this is another skein that came out of the gift box of goodies. And it's called First Lady Michelle Obama. Oh, here's the tag. Yeah, First Lady Michelle Obama. It's from Urban Girl Yarns. So I don't even remember. I feel like this was just kind of a, ooh, I really want to cast something on, and this is what I landed at. I don't know. Okay, hold on. I can't seem to untangle this. So I don't even remember the name of the shawl. That's so bad. Give me 1 second. So bad of me. I'm not, I did not actually write out full show notes or anything like that. I was just kind of like, we should record today. I've been thinking about it all week, so I did very minimal show notes. Okay, this is the Close to You shawl by Justyna Lorkowska. And it doesn't really matter. It's just garter with this lace, so it doesn't really matter which side's front or back. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not against it. I don't really know if this is what I want to do with it. It's mostly the border that's kind of like, really? Is this what you want? But as you can see, it's still on the needles because I haven't completely decided. Also, maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit more before I do frog it. This is a pattern that I was working English knitting on, so maybe I'll do a craft with me with it. And, you know, just to do, because it is a very simple, easy pattern. I just don't know if I like the border. But now that I'm looking at it on camera and like really looking at it again, I think I still do like it. So I think I will finish it. I think I'm gonna. Now that I'm looking at it again, I actually really like it. So, okay. So hopefully this will be the next craft with me then. But also, something to talk about are the needles, because I decided to try some new needles. So I went in Michael's to get stuff for a different project, and I did not realize that they are now selling Prem Needles, which I heard about 3 years ago from a then member of the International Virtual Knit Nights group, the Ivy Can. I'll link them below. I talk about them all the time. But yeah, she had been talking about them, you know, like I said, 3 years ago. And so I knew about them. I had looked them up, but I never had tried them. And Michael's is now selling them. So if you have a Michael's and you're interested, totally recommend, you know, at least trying them out. So they're ergonomic needles. This is a circular one. They're ergonomic needles. I'll show you the box here. So they have these hook tips, which, well, that's perfect. You can see it there. And then it's a steel cord. So yeah, I really have enjoyed them. This is the only project that I've used them on. That was also part of it. I wanted a project that I could test these needles on. So yeah, I'm really enjoying them. Yeah, maybe this will be a craft with me soon. Because seriously, now I'm back in love with this shawl, which is funny because it could have been done by now. So yeah, that's that. I'm pretty sure that this is the called for needle size. It's US 6s or 4 millimeters. So that's that. There's really not much to talk about. um, yeah, I thought I was gonna frog it, but I'm not. Okay, so next. This is, I think, the latest knitting project that I've done. Funny enough, there's actually something else up here that I potentially could frog, but anyway. So this is I don't know how you pronounce this, but this is the Castany shawl by, hold on. Castany by Lisa Haynes, don't remember. But she's Maliha Designs. And I guess I'll just go ahead and show you the picture. Honestly, once I show it to you, it's kind of self-explanatory. So this is the shawl. It's cables and lace, and it has a little like ribbing border down there at the bottom. Again, with this one, I was really just in the mood. So I was working on this shawl, which, like I said, and you saw, it's just garter, and then the edging has a little lace on one of the rows, but it's, you know, it's just garter pretty much. And I was like, okay, this is great, but I really just want like some knitting techniques. Like I want some texture. I love like garter and stockinette have a right time and place, but my absolute favorite in knitting is knitting texture. I love cables. I love just general texture. I love lace. General texture, I mean like between knits and purl stitches, right? But I'm a fan. I love it. It's absolutely my comfort zone, funny enough. So I went searching and I found this pattern and I was like, absolutely. And then I went back to my yarn stash and had yarn that is, you know, basically the same as hers, a nice brown, and it's a worsted weight pattern, and this is Aran weight, and like it just worked out perfectly. I had enough yarn and everything. So this is some yarn. I had 3 skeins. Here's the one I'm working with. Here's the last one. I just finished the first skein last night. But this is yarn that I got from Tuesday morning back home. If you have a Tuesday morning, that's a store. If you have a Tuesday morning where you are, I highly recommend like looking through their craft section every once in a while. I don't know if it's the same for all Tuesday mornings, but I know ours up there, like they get a lot of like discontinued stuff like from other stores and whatnot. There's whenever we would go, I always stop by the yarn because most of the time there's something there that I would want. So one day I was there and I found these 3 skeins of Shepherd's Own. Well, okay, wrong. This is Fibra Natura, and the brand is Fibra Natura. The line of yarn is Shepherd's Own, which, as you can see, is 100% all natural, undyed wool. Like I said, it's a worsted Aran weight, and which I know are not the same thing, but they both have the number 4 on the yarn weight. And with me being such a loose knitter, it's basically the same as far as I'm concerned. So these are 100 grams each, 252 yards, like really good yardage for them. So, yeah, that's my neighbors, so sorry. Um, yeah, so here is where the shawl is so far. So like I said, I just finished the first skein last night. That's where I was switching skeins. And I am so in love with it. I'm seriously so sorry that my neighbor is so loud. Their door is right, it's like literally right next to my door, and it's fine. Anyway, hopefully that wasn't too distracting in the background. But yeah, so you basically just keep working up, and it's a repeat, so you know, slowly getting wider and wider, and I love it. So I'll kind of hold that up there. This is my first time ever doing cable braid. That's my middle finger. This is my first time ever doing cable braids. Y'all, how have I not? I don't know how I've never done cable braids before, but I love them so much. Also, I wish that I had been recording or something at the moment when I realized it was a cable braid. Because, you know, I was just following the pattern, doing what they told me to do. And after like the second or third cable well, it was over here, on the first one, I was like, oh, it's 6 stitches right here because of the cables. And then it was so crazy how it happened. Like all of a sudden it just clicked, and I was like, oh, because we're making a braid. And I was like, we're literally braiding this. It was, y'all. It was really great. It was just a really funny moment. Like, yeah, that's what's happening, honey. But I love it so much. I've always loved the look of cable braids, but I've never knit any myself. So really enjoying that. So this is how big it is so far. I'll kind of hold it so you can see the whole thing. So that's where we are so far. Yeah, so there's like a setup chart. It's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give too many details, but there's like a setup chart, and then the rest of it is main body repeats. And in the pattern, the designer says that she did hers with 5 repeats, 5 full repeats, and I have about 100 yards over what she calls for. So I'm hoping that I should definitely get to at least 5 because I just started repeat 4. Um, but I'm thinking I'll get a little over that too, which will be really, really nice. Um, yeah, so I'm just plugging away on this. This is the skein that I'm going to be winding up afterwards. I didn't want to wind that skein, so that one, you probably won't be able to see it on camera, but this skein was like a little bit darker. It was just a slightly different color than the other two, so I decided to start with those two because if it is going to be like a very obvious color change, I would rather have this at the bottom. So I wound up the first 2 skeins, and then I left this one so that I wouldn't accidentally grab the wrong skein for the second one. So now that I have attached skein 2 and it's very much like in the project, I'm gonna wind this up later. Yeah, and be prepared for that. But I'm really, really enjoying that pattern. Highly recommend it. So, y'all, I'm gonna need everybody to just go back to being quiet while I try to finish this video. Um, so this is another project that I started, and this has been completely knit English. I was gonna knit this entire, it's a cardigan, and I was like, ooh, that'd be fun to knit myself a garment into English knitting. So this, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. I still have way more of this yarn. It's from like basically the very beginning of my Ravelry days. I started making a different cardigan that's gonna get ripped out. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if I'm going back to this. I think I will, but I haven't really decided yet. So this is the Campsite Waffle Cardigan. I don't remember who it's by, but honestly, you can go look that up. I also am not sure if it's somewhere other than Ravelry. Anyway, I don't remember the designer right now, but it's the Campsite Waffle Cardigan, and it's in this waffle pattern. Okay, making sure I am showing you the right side. So it's in this nice waffle stitch pattern, which is real nice. And I'm at the top of the back now, so it is also a sewn cardigan. You sew it together instead of being all in one piece. Um, yeah, so I'm at the top of the back. I'm doing like the shoulder shaping, I think this is. And I think I like messed it up somewhere, but regardless, it is now on waist yarn because I think the cord that was in this one is now this cord. Um, yeah, I really need more needles and cords. But that's that. There's not really much to say about this. It's very easy so far. I mean, as you can see, I've just been knitting a big rectangle so far. But yeah, I was really enjoying this. So I need to figure out um, what I did wrong and fix it and get back to it. Because yeah, I think this will be really nice to have for the colder weather, and it is an oversized cardigan too, so that would be really nice. Okay. um, let's see what else. So other things. Um, so I went home in the middle of September for best friend's baby's first birthday. There we go. And I had started knitting. I started knitting a sweater before then, or a cardigan. Nope, lies. It was a sweater. And then I was like, wait, actually, I'm gonna work on this worsted weight one because I was like crunch time before the party, naturally. And I was like, worsted weight will finish faster. And then I got through most of it. And we, like I should have done, asked her about what size, she really thought. And so we were like, no, should probably go up another size for her. Um, so I ripped it all out and then immediately restarted. Um, and this is where I got. So even now, it's almost back at the right spot. It's almost at the body ribbing on the bottom. So it's rolled close. I'm pretty sure that was my best friend's hair too. Because that was a blonde hair. Um, yeah. So this is the Flax Pattern, the worsted weight one. The other sweater that I had started was a Flax Light. But this is the Flax Pattern. I am holding 2 yarns double. Give me a second to straighten them up though. Um, they're very tangled over here. So the Flax Pattern is by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern. Um, It's a wonderful one. So many people have used this pattern. So, cannot recommend it enough. Pretty much like everyone else does. So the yarns that I'm using, I'm holding them double. And this, I don't remember. Is the tag in it? No, of course not. Okay, well, it's probably in a project bag, and I don't know. I don't know where it is, y'all. Whoops. Okay, so I don't really remember what this one is right now. Sorry. But this did come out of the gift box of goodies. So thank you, Shalonda, for that. And then this one is Lolo did it in. Is this Oddball? Is this the Oddball skein? Yeah. This was Oddball number 35, so it was just like a random dye that she did. It wasn't an actual colorway. And yeah, like I said, I'm holding those double. And this is what it's looking like, pretty much. There we go. Everything's tangled. So I'm knitting the 18 to 24 month size. I don't really remember what the sizes are, what the actual size is, but it's to the like 2-year size pretty much. Yeah, so that's that. There's really not much to talk about. It's just simple stockinette. I did, okay, and that's my hair. I did decide to, what was I going to say? I did decide to do the garter detail on the sleeves. I actually thought, hey, that's going to look super cute, actually, so I did it. This, I think, I'm pretty sure that I was knitting this. I'm pretty sure that I was knitting this Continental because I was trying to like speed through it. That actually would be real great to remember now, though. I'm gonna have to start putting this on my project pages because, yeah, I think this was Continental. I'm pretty sure, so I do actually need to know that for when I go back to knitting it, but I'm pretty sure this was Continental because I was just trying to get it done. So like I said, I'm almost at the ribbing at the bottom, and then it just has to have sleeves. So hopefully I will actually finish this soon because they have recently, best friend, her husband, and the child have recently moved further north. So they were in Tennessee, our hometown, and they recently moved further north. So it's definitely cold there already, and I really want to get that baby some knitwear stuff. So there's that. Okay, and then okay, shall we do? Let's talk the last knitting WIP, and then and then I think we'll take a little spinning break again. We'll use that as kind of a break, and I'll talk about some of the spinning that I've been doing, and then I have a couple cross stitch projects. So we're almost there, I say. Okay, so, and let me get this picture ready because it was further along yesterday or the day before, whatever. Where's this picture? So, back to Atomic Stacy, who is a Twitch streamer. Honestly, like, probably hands down my favorite Twitch streamer, not gonna lie. Stacy's just, she's amazing. I love it. And her community is just, it's great. Totally recommend it. Okay. So, last week, on Saturday, on the 6th, not important, Stacy knits like a fair amount of socks. Okay, can I just say one of the cool things, I only saw this year's, but it was apparently the second one that she's done. She did it last year. It was floof to foot. So on stream, she spun the yarn, spun fingering weight yarn, and then also on stream knit socks from it. And it, oh, talk about inspiration, y'all. Like, that was just great. So anyway, she knits a lot of socks. Totally a sock person. She's like me. Our feet get colds. So, yeah, socks. So, a lot of people, you know, ask her how to do this, how to make socks. Or a lot of people come in the chat also saying, like, I wish I knew how to make socks. I want to learn so bad. So she is doing what has now been named the Toasty Toe Along. Toasty Toe Along? I think that's it. Toasty Toe Along. Pretty sure toe is singular. Anyway. Yeah, so she's basically going through like a full-on tutorial slash knit along for how to knit socks. So it's definitely geared towards beginner knitters, but anybody can participate because she, along with this knit along, she's doing a giveaway for a skein of sock yarn. So the not advanced, what's the word? The experienced sock knitters, we can knit, not that beginners have to knit a plain vanilla sock, but anyway, we're allowed to knit socks, do whatever we want, and still be a part of the giveaway. So I started this sock on Friday, and I was going to do it toe up, and I was going to use this knit along and the momentum, the motivation to finish writing the vanilla sock pattern for toe up, and I was going to figure out the gusset and heel flap for toe up. So that's where the sock got to, and that is basically the second picture, because I actually knit all the way up through the gusset decreases, and then was like, I don't think this is going to be long enough. Let me rip back to before and knit some more foot before starting the gusset increases. Anyway, I just, it's a little bit more math and things and thought process than I really want to do. And then And then it just, back to the sock pattern, it just made me think, like, you don't even like knitting your socks like this. So maybe you should base your pattern off of how you actually like to knit your socks. So, long story short, because this is not what we're talking about right now, the cuff down is going to have one heel, a heel flap and gusset, because that's what I like to do, and the toe up is going to have a different heel, and that will probably be the German short row. There you go, because that's really how I like to knit my socks. I'm not against doing a toe up heel flap and gusset, but I pretty much always go look for somebody else's pattern. And, you know, you can't do that in your own pattern, just copy their work. And like I said, I don't do that for my socks anyway, so I'm not going to try to make myself write a pattern that way, because that was awfully cruel to myself. So anyway, this is after the second time that I like knit more foot and then knit the gusset entirely again. And then I was just like, you know what? Screw it, I'm done. I had like just barely started the heel flap or the heel turn, and I was like, you know what? Stop forcing yourself to try to do this. So I ripped it out, and actually I think I just ripped this out yesterday. Yeah, I did. That was yesterday that I ripped this out. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna start cuff down. So I hate that there's not a pattern on this yet for you to see, but maybe you can see it on this picture. It's a feather and fan pattern. The pattern is Featherstone by Ida Whitby. I don't know if it's somewhere that's not on Ravelry. It's just a recipe, really. She just gives you the instructions for the Featherstone bit. Okay, computer, please stop showing me other things. So, yeah, as you can see that I took a picture because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna, because I was over it by that point, and I went back to working on the cable shawl. So, okay, it was another sneeze. That one was not waiting for anyone. So there it is, the cuff. I think I have a couple rounds left on the cuff, and then we'll be back to knitting the pattern on that one. This yarn, did I put the tag in the center? I did. This yarn is, oh, I do remember. It's Knit Picks Stroll hand painted in the Punky colorway. So I chose this yarn because it is the only yarn that I had that kind of reminded me of Stacy's string colors. One of the pairs of socks, so she's showing both how to do toe up and cuff down. She's knitting 2 pairs of socks for the cow. And one of the pairs that she's doing is out of the same yarn that she's going to be giving away. So she bought a second skein for the giveaway. And it's in her stream colors, coincidentally, and this is the only yarn that I had that was kind of close to stream colors. So again, from the gift box of goodies. So Shalonda, you are seriously like keeping you're keeping my crafting going this year, and I truly appreciate it. So there's that. I need to like move stuff. Okay, so that was pretty much the last knitting WIP. That's basically what I've been working on, that and the shawl lately. So now let's take a little spinning detour. This is still WIPs, but just to talk about some of the spinning that I've been doing. So, okay, I don't need that. Okay, let me grab these. Grab some bobbins. Okay, so there's been a lot of very thin spinning going on. Because, you know, naturally Stacy, like, y'all, Stacy seriously motivated me. So, I had some Knit Picks fiber, Wool of the Andes roving, and I still have some that I bought, like, way back when I first started spinning. It was like, yes, get all the fiber. And I bought Knit Picks Wool of the Andes because of some fiber that the friend who taught me how to spin, she had given me some Knit Picks fiber to use and learn with, and I absolutely loved their Wool of the Andes roving. Sorry, my hair is bothering me. So I decided, after I finished the purple gradient, purple and gray gradient, I was going to spin some of that up. And I was like, you know, how fun would that be to do a sweater spin? Because that's just where my brain's going already. Screw trying to figure out, you know, fingering weight one skein to make socks. We're just jumping in and we're going to do a sweater spin. Because I figure I can use it whatever happens. So anyway, I don't know which one was first. That doesn't matter. But I started, so I had 2 bundles. Here, let me show you this. So when you order Wool of the Andes fiber, it comes in bundles like this. They're, it's not 100 grams, it's, or is it? It is. It's 100 grams, but that's 3.5 ounces. So a lot of spinning fiber, when you buy it, you'll get 4 ounces a lot of the times, but this they sell in 100 grams, so it's a little less. Oh, wrong one. So I had 2 of those in hot rod heather, which is like a, I don't know, hot rod red, really. And so I spun through one of them, and then so y'all, it's real weird to explain this. So it started off with me saying, I have 2 of those. Let me also go on here and order some more red fiber to finish it out. They didn't have red. They had they didn't have the same red, rather, right? They had different colors. So they have this burgundy, which is garnet heather. Yes, garnet heather, which they still have. Also, let me just clarify. Let me just tell you, Knitpicks is having their annual The Big Sale, where stuff is up to 60% off. They still have some of the garnet heather. They still have a lot of stuff. There's still Felici that I saw. So I forget how long that runs in November, but y'all, definitely go check that out if you are in the market for some stuff. I put some stuff in my cart. I'm hoping I can splurge on some stuff for personal birthday gifts from me to me. But anyway, so at first I ordered 5 skeins. Was it 5? No, I ordered 7 of the bundles of garnet, and then I had these 2, and I was like, okay, we'll do, you know, I was just gonna do 3 skeins of 3-ply. Because usually it takes me about 3 skeins of fingering weight. So I was like, okay, that should work. 3 skeins, it'll be fine. And then, like I said, I don't remember which one of these was first. I think it was this one, but I've added more fiber to it, so you can't tell. So when I started, this was the first one. When I started spinning the garnet, at that point I had already been watching Stacy through her sock spin, and you know, just like taking little tips, you know, listening to what she was saying. You know, every once in a while people will give little tips and stuff on, you know, how to really like finesse the wheel to get what you want. So I made a couple of those changes, and boy howdy. I think I'm actually gonna have to take like a really nice picture of this, a really good picture, for y'all to really be able to see like clearly how thin that is. So maybe you can kind of see it there, but like, y'all, it's hella thin. So then I got worried that it was gonna be too thin for a 3-ply to do it. So I was like, maybe you should just aim for a 4-ply. You know, in worst case I'll just have, I don't know, whatever. So I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna do a 4-ply instead. So I went back because at that point I did not have enough fiber. So we're still aiming for, I'm still aiming for 3 skeins, but instead it's gonna be 4-ply for each of them. So I would need 12 bundles. I also at that point decided this is way thinner than one of these was. I tried to spin the second one a little thicker to match the first one, and I don't think it worked. So there's that. But yeah, so then I went back and ordered 5 more bundles of garnet heather, which of course were like a little bit different shade wise, just a little, than the original 7. but it's all working out. So, okay, so here's where we are. This is the second one that I finished, I think. And as you can see, I spun it a little too much at this skinny end, so it's kind of popping off the edge. But these are two that I finished, two bobbins. I am working on a third one. Gertrude, oh, I don't know if I told y'all that. I actually don't remember. Had I named the wheel the last time I talked to y'all? If not, my wheel's name is Gertrude Florence Ashford. I feel like I did tell y'all. Gertrude was inspiration happened, and then I was like, Gertrude sounds like, I hate to say this, but I was like, it sounds like a little old lady name, which is like perfect for a spinning wheel. And then Florence, her middle name, is the name of the lovely friend that gave me the wheel, and then it's an Ashford Traveler. So I was like, that's fine. Ashford can just be the last name. I almost choked on air. So, yeah, if you ever hear me say Gertrude, I'm talking about my spinning wheel. I do that all the time with my parents. I'll just say Gertrude, and they're like, what? Huh? It's the spinning wheel. So anyway, this is all of the fiber that I still have to spin up for this sweater to spin, y'all. Because this is 1, 2, 3, so there's still 9 bundles in here. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a real good minute before that project is done, but I'm really excited about it. So the only downfall to this plan is that something's been going on with Gertrude. I don't really know what. I finished, I think it was like the second red one, because I had done, I can't remember if I did, I don't remember, because the two reds were kind of in between the burgundies, because I didn't spin them back to back. But anyway, I finished, I think it was one of the burgundy bobbins, and then, you know, immediately put the next one on and was going to start the next bundle. And something is going on with Gertrude. Like, I don't know if it's the bobbin that's throwing it out of whack or what. I don't know. So I have oh gosh, y'all, sorry, I'm getting hiccups now naturally. So I do have words. Wow. Okay, so Florence, when I got the wheel, it had 3 bobbins that came with it. And then I went back and ordered another 3 bobbins. I ordered finished ones, and they sent me unfinished bobbins. And at the time, I was just like kind of high anxiety, didn't want to deal with that ish. And I was just like, okay, this is like not okay because I paid extra money for, you know, real nice ones. Like, what the heck? So, whatever. I was like, okay, we're just going to use them. It's fine. This one is one of those skeins and went just fine. Had 0 problems. The one that's on there now, like I said, I don't know if it's the bobbin or what, but it has not been uptaking the yarn correctly or the fiber, and it's like, it was really just pissing me off because I could not figure out what the hell was going on. So, I'm thinking I'm just gonna like break the single where it's at. There's not a ton, I'm looking at it. There's not a ton on that bobbin right now, and I've got plenty of fiber, as you could see. So, if it comes down to that much in my finished skeins, like, I'm gonna just pull some other yarn anyway that I have left over. So, because it's really not that much on there, on that bobbin yet. I had just barely started and it was acting up. So I'm just gonna break that, and probably just put that bobbin to the side for a minute. And I have one more bobbin of the unfinished ones that hasn't been used yet, so I'm gonna take it out of the plastic and put it on the wheel and see. Surely that's not the problem, right? That they were still in plastic. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna try doing that. I want to do that so that I can, one, figure out if it's the bobbin or the wheel, because that's a big question that I need answered. And then also, I want to, before I keep spinning this burgundy for the sweater spin, I really want to go ahead and just ply this up. Plus, like, I only have 6 bobbins total, so I know that this is going to take more than 2 or more than 1 bobbin to ply. So, I actually do need the bobbin on the wheel and the new one still if I want to ply this, and I kind of just want to go ahead and free up these bobbins. So, that is where I am with spinning right now. Like, I mean, y'all, I was on such a roll with spinning. I was spinning all the time. It was fabulous. I'm really sad that Gertrude was having issues. When the last time that I went home to, my dad helped me oil Gertrude, so she wasn't squeaking quite as bad, and we like tightened up a lot of the screws and stuff. So yeah. Um, she got a little maintenance done to her, and that was really nice. And that's also one reason why I'm like, did that mess it up? But I genuinely don't think it was. I really did not start having problems until I switched the bobbins. So, trying to figure that out. Okay, and then I have 2 more projects. I'll show you this one first because it's not currently bunched up in something. Or in a bag, basically. So I need a picture first. I have wanted to do for a while. I've wanted to do a zodiac cross stitch with the zodiac signs on there. Oops. So this is from Happy Mood Point on Etsy. So that is the pattern. It's got beautiful outlining work there, and then each of the zodiac signs, and also the little like symbol here, right? As I've been referring to them, the symbols and the mascots. It just makes more sense. Also, it's football season, so mascots makes a lot of sense right now. Yeah, so there's that. So I'll just go ahead and tell you my plan for this while I'm holding it up. This outside bit, okay, because each of the zodiacs is a constellation, right? So, so I was thinking like night sky. So this around all this border is going to be 823 DMC 823, which is like, you know, a dark blue, so kind of like the night sky. And then I'm going to do this center bit as if it were the moon. So I'm leaning towards dark gray here, right? I didn't want it to be bright. I kind of want all of these colors to be like very close but not the same, like if you actually look at them. So the center motif, there we go. The center motif is going to be $37.99. And then the mascots and the symbols will alternate between $310 and $33.71. No lie, this entire project got started because I was like, I want to just stitch something that has 310. Like, I love stitching just monochromatic 310. I don't know why, but I love it. I also love doing that with 3371. So that's where this started, because at first I wasn't even going to do this outside border. At first I was just going to cut that off and just do the mascots, the symbols, and the center motif. And then I thought about the night sky thing, and I was like, but you could do this in blue and it would be real nice. So this is all I've got done so far. And like I said, this is all 823 so far. I have just barely right here started on the first symbol. Or the first mascot, which is Aquarius. Pretty sure. I should actually know that because my dad's an Aquarius. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is Aquarius right here. So the mascot is going to be in 3371, and the coordinating symbol will be in 310. And then I'm going to alternate that all the way around. So like the next one, the 2 that are next to it on either side, the mascot will be stitched in 310 and the symbols will be done in 3371. So that's that. That's literally all I've done. As you can see, I'm actually using a hoop, and I'm really enjoying using the hoop on this. It was a good call. But yeah, like I said, that's literally all I've done. I got distracted by socks, I think, this week was what distracted me from that. And then before that, the second most recent cross stitch that I've started is one for my parents. Where's my phone? Because I need the picture so that you can see what it looks like. So this one is by Anim Cross Stitch. It's ANIM and then cross stitch on Etsy. So this one is actually needing a visit from the frog. So, okay, my mom is, mostly my mom, it is both parents, but mostly my mom. She's the decorator for sure in our family. And she has been redoing several rooms in the house, you know, just redecorating, remodeling, not remodeling, redecorating and like, you know, just making it more modern. That's where I was going. So the living room, she's got, oh, and I didn't get a picture where I could show y'all, but the living room, she's got an entire like collage going around the TV, which looks so cool. And we had talked previously about her like loving the idea of having something that I cross stitched up there, but she didn't know what she wanted because I was like, you know, I'll stitch you whatever. And then while I was at home, the last time we were talking about stuff and she was like, maybe we can find something with entertainment, you know, something around entertainment. And I don't remember what I typed in on Etsy, but sure enough, this came up. And I don't remember what they called the pattern, but I'm calling it retro entertainment. Yeah, so how great is that? I mean, it's literally retro forms of entertainment, things to do with entertainment, and I love it. We all, like, immediately fell in love with it. So we did change up, we changed the orange and we changed the two blues to better match the living room. But other than that, it's all the same. It's only 6 colors. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this Q-snap off, this bottom one. I forgot completely. Okay, actually, I'm gonna have to take off more than the bottom one. Okay, so oh, actually, that worked perfectly. Good job. So, this is pretty much all I've done. Let me fold it down here. This is all I've done so far. I started in the center. Oh, pause. The Zodiac is 2 strands over 1 on 16 count white Aida. It's pre-gridded. That also came out of the box of goodies, the fabric. And then this fabric I bought. My parents essentially commissioned this. Me and my dad, the day before we found this, had been talking, or like a few hours before, had been talking about, you know, commissions and artists being paid, respectfully for their work, you know what I mean? Like, not people trying to be cheapskates, but like actually paying for the work that the artist has done. And I wasn't, you know, I was just gonna chalk this up to their Christmas present. Like, it was fine, you know, it's something for my parents. And my mom, she usually does this, but she was like, you know, I'll give you the money to buy the materials, like, whatever, since you're gonna do this for me. And then so my dad went back to get money for the materials, and he came back with way more than was necessary. And I was like, whoa, I don't need this much. Like, I'm not giving it back, but I don't need this much. And he was like, well, we just commissioned you for some work. And I was like, that's really sweet of you. So, so anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. So, this is not going to be their Christmas present. Let me just start by saying it will not be done for Christmas. But this is where I'm at so far. The floppy disk is completely done. I did all the back stitch and everything. So that's how I'm going to work each each square. I'm going to completely finish it. I'm doing all the stitching, and then I'm going to go back and do all the back stitching. And we're just going to like knock out every block that way, because it will just work up a lot faster. Plus, this 8x8" Q-snap perfectly fits one of these squares, so it really works out to that advantage, and then I don't have to keep moving the Q-snap. Plus, I definitely don't want to wait for all the back stitch at the end, because this one wasn't too difficult, but some of them have a good bit of back stitch, and there's different colors and stuff, so of back stitch, so yeah. But anyway, this is on 28 count Monaco. I don't know why that seemed weird for me to say, but that is what it is. It's 28 count Monaco that I got from Michaels, and okay, that's what I'm trying to get out of my mouth. I'm basically doing 7 count, because my mom had a certain size that she wanted, like the finished thing to be on the wall. Well, she had a certain size that she wanted the frame to be at the most. And so then we worked back from that to make sure that the piece itself is like the right size, so that plus the frame, you know, it'll still fit on the space in the wall. So in order for that to happen, it needed to be bigger. And at first I was gonna just do like 14 count but over 2, which is 7 count. But on this, and then I got the Monaco because you know, the even weave, just the holes and the fabric looks better to me from far away than 8 up. So at first I had tried doing like a over, oh wait, I have pictures because I sent it to my parents. So I tried doing like a over 4 thing essentially on this at first, because you know, I figured it'll be easier if I just make the stitches themselves bigger, and then I can just follow the pattern. And I was using more strands and everything, but that was not a good way to go about it. It did not look very good, in my opinion. So let me scroll back to the beginning, because I was sending them little updates and stuff. Okay, so this is like what I was doing at first, and you can see like it's just really gappy. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. And so then, just to make sure that I didn't like it, I started it with a darker color, right? And I was like, yeah, I don't like that. And my parents weren't really a fan, and we were talking about, oh, should I just do more strands for better coverage? And I still, it didn't look right to me. So I decided, no, we're just going to do this like I'm working regular 28 count. So basically it's like 14 count, right? So I'm doing 2 over 2. And basically what I had to do to get it to be 7 count is each stitch, each square on the pattern is 4 squares on the actual stitching. Which does get a little confusing sometimes, but not terribly so. Oh, I can show you right here. So, oh, I really can show you. So what I've been doing, so that I make sure that I'm getting, because essentially, like, I have to work 2 rows down and back for it to be like 1 row on the pattern. I hope this makes sense. So like here you can see, and this all has to get ripped out because there's supposed to be blue that runs up through here. And instead of trying to cut out certain stitches, I'm just going to have to rip all the brown bit. Well, like to the bottom of this bowl thing. This is a microphone, so I have to rip back to the bottom of that. Sad times. But what I've been doing, so usually I will work my stitches halfway down, half the stitch all the way down, and then cross them all on the way back. So I'm still doing that. So I work the top row, and you can see here I've like skipped that because I'm on a new line in the pattern. So I work across the top row, and then I just jump down to the row below it and do half the stitches back the other way. And then as you can see, I come back like normal and I cross them all, and then I go back up to the top and cross all of those. And that makes it a lot easier so that I don't have to remember like, oh, this was just half the row, you still got to do another one. Like if I just jump up, do half and half, I know that that's a whole row, and then I go back and I cross them all, and then you just jump up and you do that again. That has seriously helped. It was a little, I definitely had to pay attention when I got to the rows, because there are half stitches in here, but it hasn't been too confusing. As long as I'm paying attention and making sure when I do count, like, oh, how many rows is this, so I can just work at it and don't have to look at the pattern. I just have to make sure that I know, like, okay, it's 7 rows on here, make sure you count 14 on your fabric, you know. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. I hit a rut because I did all of this while I was on the phone with my mom, and I was just filling in because I was like, yeah, this is just all filling, it's just brown, blah 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 blah. No, and then I got to like here and I was like, oh, you know, I should like actually see like what happens to the pattern. And I was like, oh crap, there's supposed to be like blue that comes, yeah, anyway. So I have to go back because the blue bits that like cut up through the brown are like a bunch of half stitches. So I'm gonna just have to rip all that out. But other than that, it's going really well. Again, that's all DMC. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's gonna kind of just how it started. We kind of just got right into the crafting, and honestly, I'm just gonna like kind of cut this off. I am gonna wait and kind of talk about whatever life stuff I want to talk about. I'll probably do that in a craft with me video. Um, yeah, I really this week have been like, it would be so nice to record again and get something back out there for y'all. So naturally, okay, apparently that's what I should have done. Have y'all noticed that I have not sniffed again? The last time that I got up to sneeze, I made myself take another allergy pill because apparently the first one was not doing it. Um, so apparently that's what I should have done at the beginning. So I'm really sorry that y'all had to sit through all the sniffing and things. I'm sorry. But yeah, before I take another drink and get cozy and cause all these earthquakes and stuff, I will say toodaloo. I hope that y'all enjoyed seeing what I've been up to. It's been a lot and not a lot all at the same time. Um, yeah, but it's been good. I'm really enjoying my crafts. I'm just all over the place with them lately, so there's a lot of new projects, but they are making me happy, and that's what it's all about. So, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you've been. Like I said, I hope y'all have been doing well. Managing as best as we all can lately, because it's just crazy in general. So yeah, with that, because I don't know what else to say. I'm rambling at this point, so I will leave y'all to it, and look out for a craft with me video. I don't know when. Um, I'm just gonna kind of do it like when I'm really in the mood. I'm hoping it'll be at the very least sometime this month. um, but yeah, stay tuned for that. I have been thinking about vlogging, but it just kind of like pops in my head and then goes away. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I thought I was gonna vlog for all of November as another birthday thing, but that clearly has not happened. So maybe it'll just be week of Thanksgiving. Not sure, but some point before the year's out, I'm gonna try to vlog, I think. Okay, so until next time, I will bid you all happy crafting and happy living in general. Yeah, so until next time, bye y'all.